I don't know about like having
enemy, mess them up, and bring them to the knees, do your stuff. Time for justice, time to go fight. Strike them down. We can't let evil win, take them out. This is justice, this is what's right. Here comes the enemy, mess them up, and bring them to the knees, do your stuff. Time for justice, time to go fight. Strike them down. We can't let evil win, take them out. This is justice, this is what's right. Here comes the enemy, mess them up, and bring them to the knees, do your stuff. Time for justice.
What's up? What's up? Hello, hello.
What's up?
I'm gonna just first make sure this is
I'm on the
working.
wrong scene
I haven't
already.
open,
Fucking
open, open,
there we go.
open. All right. Let me just make sure this is working. Let me see the stream change over. That's a long lag. Like I'm
Fuck.
watching the video on my phone and it's still on the start streaming screen. Jeez. That's a that's a minute. Come on. Come on.
Japan.
Bro, like was it minutes? Like what's going on? Oh, what are we doing? What are we doing? Come on. Come on. I switched screens, right?
I'm gonna check your stream a bit.
It's just noise.
Just
Noise.
nice.
Oh.
I
Oh,
forgot about ads. God damn it. Well, that's just gonna have to be a thing.
I see. So, um, so uh, the actual like the audio is, but it didn't switch to scene. Why it didn't switch to scene? It's a fantastic question. It says noise everywhere. Noise everywhere. Oh
Let me
boy.
see if
There's so many pop-ups on my screen, like I don't even know.
what's it.
Yes, this it's been a long time since I've done streaming, so that is why.
Why are you allowed to put ads on like a compilation video of videos you don't own? That's bullshit.
Oh, oh. It looks like it's working. It looks like it's working. It looks like it's working. Let's see. Let's see. Yay! Finally.
Is that the sound of me clearing my
Oh.
throat? That was him. I heard that shit.
All right. Finally. So
Finally, the Drark has come back to YouTube slash
it's
Twitch.
it's been eons, centuries, even it's been forever since I've been on
Live
here.
ever.
Um, let's see.
Kingdom
What's
Hearts
up,
forever.
Skidix?
Even.
What's up, Skidix? I haven't seen or and talked to you in literally like 4 years. I think it's been forever. And Joe, thank you for stopping by. How are you doing? Um, I haven't done a stream in a long time, but recently I got a new computer that will allow me to do a lot of work in other sources, um, like music stuff, especially from for the wife. But um, as a side piece, I can stream and all that fun stuff. So now, whether I find time in the day and or space to do it in, that's a different story. But I'm able to do that now. Yeah. So, yeah, it's good because I got you on Insta, so that's good. Could see each other there at least, right? um, but yeah, uh, hopefully I'll be able to stream more often and actually play games. I have my all my stuff. I have a Switch too as well, but I kind of sort of fried the bottom dock, so I can't play like I can't stream on the Switch 2. I broke it. I have to fix it.
You broke your
I can
Switch
still use the
too?
Switch 2. I did. I sure did. I
No.
don't. It still works. I just can't play it like on a big screen and
Damn.
or stream it because I need that bottom dock to do that. So fun stuff. Fun stuff. So Yeah, yay. Um, that happened. But I can still play PlayStation 5 games and other stuff. Um, so,
And we need to get you back
but
on
I've been
Unite.
playing a lot of. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, now on the Switch 2, I'm more than happy to play that. But on the Switch 1,
Yeah, we don't have to worry about that anymore. I also have a Switch too. We can move away from that shit. But
let's change the subject. But let's see. Um,
what
what
is
was I
the
gonna say?
subject? Might I ask? I have no idea.
Fantastic,
What could we
fantastic
possibly be
segue.
talking about?
First of all, hello everyone. Welcome to our stream. Once again, I am Avi, aka Drark, and this is
I go by
introduce yourself,
Hakame
please.
Tenchi in most places. I have many handles, but Hakame Tenchi will do for this stream and all of the other social media shit. Links in bio, all that stuff.
Yes, yes, exactly. And this specific stream basically will be a perspective discussion, let's just call it that, on our opinions of the Kingdom Hearts 4 media management and game development
History,
information that's been
uh,
provided, distributed
the state
to
of
us,
the PR
or
of
lack thereof.
Square Enix and Disney, and you know what's going on. I see
Yes,
this as like because we've done a Kingdom Hearts podcast before. This is sort of a sequel to that, where we haven't really talked online about Kingdom Hearts since then. So I see this also as a way to catch up with what the fuck has been going on between then and now, because there's still like a lot of Kingdom Hearts stuff that I'm kind of blind to. Like I never played Melody of Memory. Um, I've only seen like recaps of the mobile games maybe one time. I don't really remember everything. Uh, I can't even really say that I'm fully prepared for Kingdom Hearts 4 in the first place because I'm just missing so much information and details about everything between 3 and 4. So that's something we're going to have to cover as well. But um, what prompted this was mostly just kind of just the meta narrative of what the fuck is going on with KH4 IRL with its development and just the PR and man, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on.
I love the comment by Skiddix. He says, I don't know what's going on, but Kingdom Hearts, I hear it and I feel like something bad is happening. And then he says, but it's Disney. And Disney, boo.
Modern
That's so
Disney.
funny because,
Disney today
yeah,
sucks ass.
yeah, modern Disney. Yeah.
Modern Disney.
Um, but before we even get into that, I'd like us to preface we love Kingdom Hearts.
We do.
We are avid Kingdom Hearts fans.
My second
We've
favorite
loved Kingdom
franchise.
Hearts since the beginning. Literally, it's just it's a big consumption of our lives. So, yeah, Kingdom Hearts is a huge deal for us. Um, that being said, there is room for criticism. So we'll get into that. Um, for the sake of funsies, we're going to play roles here. I will be playing the light in this Kingdom Hearts discussion, while Hakuma Tenchi here, as you can see, will be playing the dark. He's got the
Darkness.
gloves and everything.
I have the coat. I can't
He
not have the
looks like
gloves.
you look like Morpheus, bro.
My
Would you choose
shades.
the red pill or the blue pill? So, but I think that might give us kind of a way to play both roles in our opinions and perspectives of what's going on with Kingdom Hearts. Um, and then it'll give them the opportunity to play devil's advocate and just kind of see where you stand with that. You let us know in the comments what you feel about it. For those new to the series, Kingdom Hearts is a convoluted story that has captured the hearts of millions, and it's been spread through multiple consoles and iterations of the game itself. And it's basically a friendship game, a love game, action game, Disney game, Final Fantasy game. What else? What else would you say, Hakme?
Um, the way I describe it is that Kingdom Hearts is very vibe based. Um, there is a metric fuck ton of lore. There's a metric fuck ton of like secrets and mysteries and stuff, but that's all kind of on the wayside from just like the characters, the worlds. That's what you're there for. The Square Enix, the Disney. Uh, I think we've talked about before about the possibility of Kingdom Hearts kind of moving on without Disney characters, Final Fantasy characters. Um, I have like possibilities. Like there was a time where I was thinking that like maybe it'll be good if Square Enix got if Kingdom Hearts got away from fucking Disney, but I've kind of accepted that's kind of impossible. It's too important. You need it. It's there for the soul of the franchise. That's what people are there for. As much as I'd like for Kingdom Hearts to kind of just grow to completely on its own completely, um, that's not gonna fly. I think you would lose something immense by not having Disney and Square Enix together. That's the whole point. And no matter how much Nomura wants to try to flex his genius in trying to make all these interweaving stories and all these mysteries and shit, ultimately all that matters is the characters and how much you care about them, and the experience of just like reliving your Disney memories. Everyone like who like these Gen Z kids and going back to Kingdom Hearts and kind of it's like, oh, these games are terrible. Dude, people only love them for nostalgia. You damn fucking right. That's the whole fucking point.
Um,
You think that's gotcha? That's a point in its favor. It's doing its job.
so, um, for the people that have never played any Kingdom Hearts games, a quick breakdown. Basically, it is a combination of Disney worlds as well as Final Fantasy characters, and it's basically the story about this one boy whose journey to save his friends, and he has to save them by traveling to multiple different worlds, which happen to be Disney worlds. And he ends up learning that he also has to save those worlds from um, coming darkness that's like, basically eating the worlds alive. Once he defeats the boss, he unlocks the 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 gate, or locks the gate, and stops darkness from spreading into that world. And which is how he saves them, at least in Kingdom Hearts 1. And then the story progresses from there. But basically the concept is boy main character, his name is Sora. He goes from Disney World to Disney World, makes new friends, saves the planet, moves on to the next, and then finally towards the end he gets into the meat and potatoes of the story, which is where the Final Fantasy-esque characters kind of come in, as well as like original characters and story and plot kick in, and then he has to fight the villains per se of the series, and then the story has grown a lot from there. There's multiple characters that have taken center stage, but become the beloved characters. The supporting cast of Donald and Goofy has been something that brings like a light palette to the story. And then you have characters like Mickey Mouse, who is known as King Mickey in this universe, and he plays the same role but in a cooler sense, more mysterious sense. So, and then just other characters from multiple Disney worlds, and each Disney or each Kingdom Hearts games has a select set of worlds in that game that are part of the story. And so that being said, we're now coming into Kingdom Hearts 4, which we are expecting a new set of worlds to be introduced. Of course, there may be some worlds that already exist, but um, ideally, we are getting a whole new set of worlds, considering this is also the start of a whole new saga. So that's basically the gist of Kingdom Hearts and how the story progresses. I think that covers everything. What do you think?
Yeah, if that's a serviceable summary of the franchise as a whole, really.
Mm, mm. So, with that said, we've devised a series of questions that we're going to be kind of bouncing back and forth off of each other, in regards to the actual game, the marketing, development, and what's expected and what wished for upon the game to be in or not in. Um, and I think that should cover everything. I will do the positive perspective, while I potentially will be doing the devil's advocate side. Yeah, we should be good to go from there, right?
Before we do, is a very important acknowledgement. Um, so this week has been a very rough week in celebrities and the passing of very notable figures. Some attached to Kingdom Hearts, some not. But I originally, when I was putting these together, I had to make space for a segment to acknowledge the passing of. Please don't fucking lynch me if I pronounce this wrong. Hayden Panettiere, who voices Kyrie throughout the series from the beginning. Uh, that hurt. It hurt immensely when I heard that, and it was right after the Cage Four news. Um, man, uh, what can I say? Like, not really as much to say. I think she's. I only really know her from Kingdom Hearts. She's like done other roles and whatnot. Kind of. I don't. I'm not comfortable with the idea of just like acknowledging her because like, oh, she voices Kyrie. She's a person before she's
Mm,
uh,
mm,
just a character in a series. But it's like I wouldn't have known who she was or really what she was done without it. So I don't know. It sucks. It's a shitty feeling. Surely, like the character is going to have a role in Kingdom Hearts 4 of some kind. So there's no way she hasn't done any work on it. And yeah, I feel there's a little bit of the terrible feeling that she's not even going to be able to see uh, like what came out of that. But um, that's just the one. And we lost both Dolly Parton and Tim Curry a couple days ago, pretty much like within hours of each other, and it's been a brutal week, like for sure. I had to leave space for that because I would feel terrible if we didn't acknowledge it.
no, absolutely. And in regards to Aiden Panettiere, she some of you guys may know her as like Save the Cheerleader, Save the World. She was from the show Heroes. I think that must have been one of the more recent shows that she kind of became very well known for. She played many roles before that as well. And then she had her own show as well, Nashville, I think it was called. So she was very well known, a very great, popular actress. But yeah, she did voice Kyrie. If I'm correct, her performance for Kyrie was in the original two. I'm not 100% sure if she continued that role after or if someone replaced her. But I know for sure she was at least in the first one or two games for her.
And she's the
So
only VA for English Kyrie to this day.
the English one, okay, I
Yeah,
see. Okay. Um, but actually, it's a good point you brought because during uh, the what's it called, the trailer that we did, the D23,
D23.
they
Yeah,
had but what was it called specifically, like the second day event? I forgot what it was called, the Treehouse or something.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch it. I have no idea.
Oh,
I usually
well,
don't keep
it's
up
like
with the 23.
it was like basically where they sit down and answer questions about the series and everything like that.
The Q&A section.
And yeah,
Yeah.
so both the voice actors for Sora and Riku showed up, and Kyrie didn't, which everyone thought was a little bit odd, and they were like, probably scheduling conflict or something. But um, there was a point where they were going to introduce a not a secret cast, but they were like, we have the voice actor for Sora, we have the voice actor for Riku, we're missing one person. And then when said to come in, it ended up being like someone dressed as King Mickey, and you're like, what the hell is that? Like that was such a build up and a letdown. And I mean, if anything, it just brought attention to the fact that she wasn't there, and no one really thought anything about it. But it kind of fits exactly with the timeline where she passed, maybe a day or so behind. So um,
Like
it's
I
a
don't
little
want to.
heartbreaking to think that.
Yeah, go ahead.
You want to see that? You want to see that clip? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little heartbreaking to think that that she should have been there with them, and she could have been there with them, but she had her own situation going on, and she was, I believe, in a hotel room or something, and when she passed. So it's kind of disheartening to kind of, because a lot of people can bash someone without even understanding their circumstances. Like Kyrie couldn't be bothered to show up. Hidden Panettiere couldn't be bothered to show up. No, the money wasn't worth it. She doesn't really care for Kingdom Hearts. Like anyone can bash her for not being there, and not realize she may have just died. You know, um, so we take a lot of people's lives, personal lives, for granted, and because we expect them to feed us, feed us what we want, and so that's just kind of like a perspective cleanser,
Mhm.
just to kind of be like, people kind of got their own stuff going on. So yeah, it's definitely something to kind of consider and mourn for. And it's like you said, it's not just her, but Dolly Parton and Tim Curry as well. Fantastic, iconic legends in the industry. So yeah, for sure.
Um, Part of the reason why I don't really keep up with D23 is that like sometimes they don't really have like a public showing of Kingdom Hearts related stuff. They don't usually do this. Um, the fact that they had a trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4 at all is actually kind of surprising. This is not what they normally do for D23. A lot of times for D23, they'll have a trailer, but it'll be like a super hush hush. They'll have people sign NDAs and like, oh, we're going to show you exclusive Kingdom Hearts footage, and we're going to give you exclusive Kingdom Hearts merch, but you can't share it, you can't show it, you can't do anything. And the voice actors typically don't show up for that because like no one's going to see it except for the people who are there. Who cares? So like I didn't really think twice about it. Like when I heard that Haley and David were both at D23 and they reprised their roles for Sora Riku and redid the KH2 ending. That was great. I didn't really think about Hayden not being there, mostly just because it's kind of just not a normal thing that they would do. Um, I don't want to get into like conspiracy theories of like her passing being related to her not being there. We
Mm,
still don't really have details of how she passed, and I kind of don't want to get into it very much. But
mm,
I just want to acknowledge that like it was very unfortunate that that happened. Of course, with anybody it is, but it's just as
mm,
Carriage fans, it hurts extra deep. Um, I would hope that it was unrelated, maybe.
mm.
That's my best
So
guess.
Spitix just said in the comments that Allison Stoner ended up replacing Hayden Panettiere as voice actress for Kyrie. So I just checked really quickly, and from what I see, um,
Yeah, I was
Kyrie
actually
played,
trying to find that. Um,
yeah,
Starting from
Hayden
which
played
game?
Kyrie Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2 and Birth by Sleep, whatever appearance she was in Birth by Sleep. And then Dream Drop Distance is where Allison takes over. And then it's been Allison and yeah, Allison in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop 3, and then Melody of Memory, and is continuing on for Kingdom Hearts 4, going from there. And it looks like she also left a message after she found out that she passed away, um, as like a kind words for someone that played the role of the character who she plays now. So at least that's nice to know that she also paid her respects to her.
Okay, yeah. I was trying to check that because I'm kind of
Yeah.
speaking through like what I've heard the news. Like, oh, she's been Kyrie the whole
Mm.
time. I sort of believe it. I
Yeah.
can't. It's hard to tell. Whoever, well, Allison Stoner, she doesn't do. She does a good job. I never
Mm, she
noticed.
does.
So All right. Well, fact checked. Good. She was Kyrie up until Birth by Sleep. I assume she's in Birth by Sleep.
Right? I mean, it's funny because like
When
that's not even a game where she would be in there. Like I'm trying to think where
I know
she
she's, I know
played a role
young
in it, but
Kyrie is.
maybe
Maybe
that.
she voices young Kyrie as well. I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, so that kind of sets the stage for that, and uh, yeah, she will be dearly missed, and not just the Kingdom Hearts role, but her other roles, and of course in her daily life. So, but let's segue from that to our list of questions. I have many, many, but I might not ask all. I just kind of want to go with the flow. So what I'll do is I'll let you start, and if you have any questions you kind of want to go with.
All right. So the whole like darkness theming, I came up with kind of late. So before that, I was trying to come up with normal questions to just get out the way. Um, we've done this before. We had a whole another episode about Kingdom Hearts, and we kind of had this format where we would just come up with questions about our thoughts on the franchise and whatnot. And I was kind of going through that line of reasoning when coming up with these new questions. I don't think I asked this last time. Top three character themes, music.
Oh, mm, it's not that I don't. You know what? I might have to say Kyrie's one actually is pretty good because it makes me feel like it makes me feel like the calm before the storm, if anything. Um, and I really like that about that. Um, it's a, it's I can just hear Kyrie laughing when I think about it, you know, which ends up being hidden Pantier. So that just makes it more sad now that I think about it. um, but yeah, I would say hidden Pantier and or not hidden Pantier, Kyrie's theme. I also I think it's Nominees. It's kind of intertwined with Twilight Town. Um, but just is it a manor? Is it a manor or a mansion? I don't
Mansion.
know.
I don't know what the difference between manor and mansion is anyway.
Yeah, well, it's whatever it is that when you go into kind of that realm, it's like I don't know. It's nice.
A manor, a mansion.
Yeah, whatever it is. And then maybe I don't know if this belongs to someone or some place. Like, but it always shows up at a certain point, and it's I can't remember, but it goes like do 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 do
That
do.
is Wonderland.
Traverse Town, Wonderland,
Yeah, that's the Wonderland world
Wonderland,
music
yeah,
one. Yeah.
Wonderland, yeah, Wonderland, yeah.
Ask me how I remember that later. We'll get to it.
um, but yeah, no, I don't know. Honestly I can't think of the top of my head. Maybe Sora, if he
Uh,
has one. I don't even know. I just I I just
um,
know.
trying to think of a moment where it plays. You've heard it. You've heard
Of
it.
course.
If I play it right now, you're like, oh, that's sort of. You've heard it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know
yeah, 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 yeah.
it.
Oh, that's what it
That's Sora's
is.
theme.
Ah,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I like that. That's kind of like the.
It plays in weird times where like you
Let's do
wouldn't.
this. Let's do
This is a
this.
Thora scene. It's
Usually
like,
when
and
people
it's
tell me
just
gummy ship, like
Yeah, or something like that.
Mm,
But apparently that's his theme. Uh,
mm,
it's nice.
okay,
Um,
sure. I feel like that was the gummy ship theme in Kingdom Hearts 1, and then it became his theme in Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't know, something like that.
yeah, it's
But you know what? I gotta say, I'm gonna have to play all the games all over again because I have a horrible memory and these details like leave me and only some kind of stay, you know?
yeah.
But I will say that off the top of my head, I like Kyrie's, I like Nominees, and Sora is good. Although I feel like that's more of a gummy ship one, but sure, like let's go, you know?
For so I with my I can show you that it is sort of Sora's theme. For one thing, I appreciate and I am proud of you for pulling Omni's theme because like she's all been on my top like character theme list for like forever. No one talks about Omni's theme, and I don't think it plays anywhere outside of China Memories. I don't like. I can't think
Mhm.
of another time where it plays, but like I love it. It's so
Mm,
sad, like, but appropriately sad.
mm,
Uh, it's on my bucket list. I've been like messing around with FL Studio and music making stuff. One of my goals is to create like a Roxas style battle theme for Naminé. Because you never fight Naminé.
mm,
But like, imagine if she had a battle theme. And it was based on her actual character theme, like Roxas has.
mm, mm, mm.
Name escapes me right now, but like the Roxas theme. Um,
Yeah.
Speaking of Roxas theme, that would be my other choice, honestly, and especially his the battle version. Uh, when it plays while you're fighting him, Cage 2 is amazing, dude. Just Cage 2. And
Yeah.
my other choice, um, so Vanitas. If you listen to his theme, uh, there is a leitmotif of Source theme in it, and I think
Mm,
it only plays after like he has the face reveal that like he indeed looks like Sora. Breath by Sleep has a lot of music where the characters have leitmotifs within their theme that are tied to the characters they're associated with. Like Aqua's theme has a little bit of Kai's theme in it. Um,
yeah.
I think there's something with Terra as well, but I don't really remember. But stuff like that. So those are my three choices: Roxas, Naminé, Vanitas for character themes. Um,
Mm,
yeah, those are my picks.
I like those. Those are good options. I
I've been
think
on a
those
music
are.
kick recently.
I personally really like I like the semblance that you get from all the orchestra, including these themes for these people, because like it blends so well that sometimes you're not even 100% sure if it's like a place or a person, but it's because it's so well orchestrated that it's meant to sound like it could fit in so
Mhm.
well. It doesn't feel like off, like just out of left field. It feels like it belongs there. So that's really cool. Hmm.
Yeah, like
All
playing
right,
through the
let's see.
games and listening to the music as you're going through. Uh, it's it's better in Breath by Sleep onward, but it's like it's hard to tell when a character's theme is supposed to be a character's theme. Like I always thought that Riku just never had one. He does.
Hmm.
It only exists in Cage. Well, it started existing in Cage 2, and it only plays like once. But like once you hear it, it's like, oh yeah, that's 100% that fits completely. But you only hear it the one time, and it's like that sucks. Like you gotta actually sit down and like listen to the OST. It's amazing.
Hmm. I have to check it out when I play it again one more time. Actually, maybe before even I'm gonna play it soon, so I might. I don't know. Maybe I should stream it, but
Yes,
the wife is gonna be streaming it too, so I'm excited for that. That's
yes.
gonna be. an interesting undertaking. So I'll break that into detail more later on. But let's head into question number two. And I'm gonna go with um, characters. I'm gonna say, what is your perspective on the take of Disney to Final Fantasy characters to original characters in the Kingdom Hearts series, from where it started to where it is now to where you expect it to go in the future?
Um, oof.
Mm,
Uh, that's a lot. Um, so like the Disney characters in the Disney worlds are absolutely essential. You cannot have Kingdom Hearts without Disney.
mm,
Um, for some reason, playing through Kingdom Hearts 3, um, there is a notable absence of Final Fantasy characters in that game. I didn't
mm,
particularly. I wasn't
mm,
bothered, I should say. I wasn't particularly bothered by the absence of Final Fantasy characters. Like, I noticed, but
mm,
I think the Final Fantasy characters are a bit less significant within the franchise than the Disney characters are. Because it's not like you're going through Final Fantasy worlds and you're interacting with them in like any sort of meaningful capacity. It's kind of like the Final Fantasy characters are very much shoehorned into the Disney worlds, and as it is, like as long as it stays that way, I don't think I would be like I don't think I would be that bothered if like the Final Fantasy characters kind of took a backseat to the original characters because that's kind of already happening. So far, with like the Kingdom Hearts 4 stuff, we haven't seen a single Final Fantasy character yet. It's mostly been original characters and characters introduced in the other side games like Dark Road and Union Cross and stuff like that. Um, I always kind of wanted Kingdom Hearts to be its own thing, um, even if it were to come at the expense of the Final Fantasy and Disney characters. But I think that Disney characters are too important for the soul of the franchise. But the Final Fantasy characters, I think I think it could go one of two ways where it's like Kingdom Hearts 4 needs to pump up the amount of Final Fantasy characters in it, like, and not just the Nomura ones, but across the entire franchise. Because I think, because another thing is that Final Fantasy, around the time that Kingdom Hearts started, like Final Fantasy 7 made it like gave Final Fantasy its international boom, and that was always associated as like a Nomura game because it has a style in it. He didn't direct that game, but like he's the art. He's like the main artist, so he's kind of like the face of that art style. But it's always seemingly like Nomura's characters that are in Kingdom Hearts, and beyond that, there isn't really much of like the rest of Final Fantasy. Like we don't get to see like the original Warrior of Light. We don't see anybody from before Final Fantasy VI. I think Setsu's the only one from Final Fantasy VI that ever shows up in any Kingdom Hearts. Um, Nobody from like 13 onward so far. Like we've had Final Fantasy games come out like after the start of Kingdom Hearts, and like even like the newer ones, like even the more recent Final Fantasy characters just haven't made an appearance either. It's always been like Cloud, Squall, Aerith, the same ones. So it's like I don't know if it's like a Nomura thing, if it's like oh I only have rights to these characters, or nobody cares about like the characters beyond the ones that I've made. It's like nah, dog, you're gonna have to start using more Final Fantasies past like from before 6 after 10. Like come on, like we now have the Final Fantasy 1 through 6 Pixel Remaster, people know about Final Fantasy now. We gotta start pumping up the Final Fantasy in these games. Or if not that, um, just don't do it at all, which isn't preferable. It's not the choice I prefer. But if it's one or the other. You either bump the numbers up, those are rookie numbers, or let's just not bother. Let's focus on like the Kingdom Hearts story, but the Disney has to stay. Disney has to stay.
I agree. I feel like when it comes to when the game was originally pitched, I feel like the game was pitched with the idea that, hey, I got your Disney and I got the edgy Final Fantasy, and that's going to make a unique story. And it'll be an edgy character that goes from Disney World to Disney World and fights it off the evil in each world with our edgy characters, which is going to appeal to a mass audience. And I feel like Final Fantasy characters were there to kind of bring Kingdom Hearts to life, the concept. And I feel that now that Kingdom Hearts has blown up the way it has, um, basically Final Fantasy needs Disney, or Disney, or I should say Kingdom Hearts now needs it doesn't need the Final Fantasy characters anymore. So if anything, the Final Fantasy characters appearing in Kingdom Hearts would kind of flow more as a favor. Um, the the good thing about that is they have the ability to. They've done it before. Um, they just kind of have to find their own incentive. And I feel like the way that it's been happening for Disney is whenever they want to promote something, they'll wait, but then they'll throw it all out. And then, like, Kingdom Hearts has this and this and this because we're promoting it. And I feel like they haven't done the same for the Final Fantasy side of it. They've, like you said, only introduced already used characters and models and everything, and just kind of focused on the icons, the iconic things. So there is a chance that Nomura feels like the Final Fantasy characters portion have served their role in terms of making Kingdom Hearts relevant, and he's then transitioned from those characters to the original characters. And in the Kingdom Hearts series, you can see that there's been a huge flagship of original characters that have been brought in, like especially in comparison to like Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories. Sure, we started to get like the organization, but as in like overall cast, both good and bad, I feel like now we have so much that we don't need Final Fantasy to fill that role. If they bring in any Final Fantasy characters, it's simply to fan service at this point. I genuinely think if they do, it'll straight up be fan service. It'll be like, here's this guy from Final Fantasy 12, or here's I would think it'd be the most hilarious thing if they put Noctis in Kingdom Hearts 4. That would be the most hilarious thing because we have like three different versions of Noctis in the game already, and then we throw him in there just for funsies. And if everyone's like, "What the hell?" Make a boy band group and they all go fight together. Emo boys. Um, so I don't really know how they're gonna approach that. Um, but I still do feel that that is a that is a central piece of what Kingdom Hearts is, and I don't like that they're steering away from it. So I'm hoping that they do consider that and bring some characters back, even if it's a special scene, or they stay in the planet in one place, they show up for one moment, anything, a cameo even. I just want I just want it to feel like they remembered that Final Fantasy still has its place in there too. Um, and although I highly, highly doubt it's going to happen, if they could place one Final Fantasy world as an option, that would be mind blowing. A Final Fantasy world for us to explore and save. That'd be crazy. I'd love it. I don't think it's going to happen, but that'd be cool to see. Just to kind of be like, we remember you kind of thing. But that's my take on that. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think they're gonna introduce more characters, but I really do think that they should at least one or two, even if it's a cameo, something to kind of be like, yeah. I don't want it to be like a character that has been so redesigned that you know who it's supposed to be, but it's clearly not. Out of like, because at that point it looks like they're trying to protect themselves from copyright claims, but it's their game, so why the hell would they have to do that? So that's like
Basically,
the only thing I
Yozora.
don't want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, even Sid, like Sid is Sid,
Like,
Sid. Yeah, but I'd like them to, do more.
um, so like with this new Lost Masters saga, it seems like 'cause they haven't really been super overt about like what it actually is, what it's about. But like the with the information given, I think the idea is that now we're transitioning into like a universe where um like the default hub world like Quadratum is our Final Fantasy world. It's like the ties to Final Fantasy Versus 13 are super obvious. Quadratum, even though it looks like regular basic bitch Japan, basic bitch Tokyo, I think it's more supposed to be designed for like Insomnia, like the old version of Insomnia from Versus 13. There's also a little bit of World is with You, the 104 building. Um, my original thought process before we started getting these trailers was that like, oh, instead of going to Disney worlds, we're gonna go to worlds of like scrapped Final Fantasy or Square Enix IPs. Like, imagine if like we had all these ideas and all these canceled games, especially like a couple of years ago when they had to cancel a fuck ton of games. What if we just had a bunch of Kingdom Hearts worlds based on those? What if we go to fucking Foam Stars or some shit like something like that? And like,
Pokemon missing links.
yeah. And maybe if like we can't get like a straight up Final Fantasy world, because I don't know how we will make like a straight up Final Fantasy world work. If it's just a Final Fantasy world, it's like, oh, well, we're just gonna drop in the plot of Final Fantasy 9 or whatever. It's like, but yeah, I don't think it's the same because like you can just play those games. Like, it's not really like what if Final Fantasy 9 but Sora was there? Like, I don't think that's very exciting, honestly. um, but like, I think just and it's interesting because the last few trailers of Kingdom Hearts 4 and like the like Secret Ending Kingdom Hearts 3 have all just been about Quadratum and what it is and the world itself. I think Quadratum has gotten the most build up than anything in this franchise. It's going to be a huge part of the story, and like I think that's what they're bracing themselves for. I think Quadratum is going to be our Final Fantasy representation, and we're not going to get much in the way of like old Final Fantasy characters showing up unless they're in the Disney worlds. Um, and I hope
Do you think there's a chance that they could have any Final Fantasy characters just in Quadratum itself?
in Quadratum, probably not, just because it's already a very Final Fantasy EE place to begin with. Like you said, like oh, having not to show up. It's like yeah, but like they're doing this weird thing where like we have Yozora. Yozora is kind of already Noctis, and then Riku's going to be there, and Riku is also kind of Yozora, and Yozora is also kind of Riku, and yeah. Like it's already too much. And I was going to get into this in a separate segment, but like we already kind of have an issue of like characters who are like who look like each other or take upon their other characters' visages and shit like that. It like I think that's kind of the source of the convolution of Kingdom Hearts, and they should not lean into that any further. We cannot have Noctis and Yozora in the same space. Don't do it unless it's like Kid Noctis. Like he has to be a baby. Like he has to be. It has to be baby Noctis or something. They can't. You can't have two grown adults, and especially Ray Chase voices the Master of Masters. Hell no. Like extra confusing. Like no. We can't. No.
Don't you
Don't do it.
know? Don't you know that Riku is holding inside of him the heart of Yozora, who is the nobody of Noctis, who is
You joke, but you that
the
could be
Duchess
the
of
case.
Poets.
You,
They're
you,
gonna basically do what they did with Sora, but with Riku this time around.
God, what if? Oh God, no. Uh, um,
And
but
you
I
think
do
about it,
hope.
because he has like the two colored eyes, and then Riku comes into this world flying with the colors, same scheme as what your Zora's color scheme would be, and you're just like,
I dread it. But because I thought about it, um, I think like in the with the Final Fantasy cameos that we've gotten, the only ones that seem to have had like I wouldn't say a significant impact, but like they thematically fit in the world that they want to is Auron slash Zack in Olympus Coliseum. And even though I would rather than like go outside of like the shit we've already seen and like get other Final Fantasy characters from like other games that we haven't seen yet, I think at the very least, Zack returning would be very poignant because now like Kingdom Hearts 4 is dipping into like it has this theme of death and like especially Zack and Lauren a little bit less so are very tied to that theme of death. And they go to Hades. Like Dal and Goofy, they go to Hades to make that connection so they can try to connect to Sora that way. I think if any one or two characters ought to come back for Kingdom Hearts 4 or the Lost Master Saga, Zack or Auron would be perfect. And, that also gets into like
Zack is my favorite character.
yeah, that also gets into like them choosing Coco as one of the worlds because Coco is like I don't even know. I need to watch that movie. I haven't seen it yet, but I have a vague idea
It's a good movie.
of what it's about, and it's like yeah, that makes perfect sense. I didn't even think about it. I feel stupid for not thinking about it. That's a perfect choice.
Yeah,
What a
but
call.
I feel like that's actually a very good point, because Final Fantasy's Seven's last game is coming out at the beginning of next year, and then the year is going to end with Kingdom Hearts. And so for them to bring out a character from the Final Fantasy series into the Kingdom Hearts world would be quite unique. I think that would be like a relevant timing per se for a character to make an appearance. If I had to pick a character to show up as a secret Hercules tournament character, as Sephiroth would be, I would probably say Genesis. I think that would be phenomenal. Especially, I recall the licensing for him has been okayed to be used again, and thus has been considered to be used in the Final Fantasy games again. And so, if that's okay, why not put him in you know, Hearts
Because fuck
or
Genesis, that's
Secret
why.
Boss,
Because fuck that guy.
or just put all three. Just put all three in there. Fuck it.
And
Just put all
Jill
three together. And
would be
Geo,
sick.
Genesis, and Sephiroth. Oh my god. Oh my god. Can you imagine that fight? I can't even. Um but yeah, no, I yeah, I agree. I think that that would be a good set of characters to bring back, especially Aaron. I loved Aaron. So, but Zach is my favorite all-time character. So, yeah, if he was in there again, I'd be happy.
To say that Zach needs to come back. Like,
Yeah.
huh? Fine. Um, Speaking of Kingdom Hearts 4 and worlds and stuff, because you mentioned worlds coming through. My next question is top three Disney slash Pixar world wish lists minus basically the ones that we already either have confirmed or soft confirmed, like Coco, Star Wars, Moana. Besides those, top three Pixar Disney world wish lists.
Well, honestly, the only world that I'm like hoping for, I don't care anything else gets put in here or not. The only world I'm hoping for is Moana. The only world. That's like, if they put Moana in, I'm happy with whatever they got. I feel it's the best fitting story in the entire possible realm of what Kingdom Hearts is, even more than Coco. Um, but
So for the audience, I'll mention this. The reason why I'm excluding Moana is that in the Nintendo Switch 2 trailer, Sora is equipped with a Keyblade that is lava and water themed. And while that's not a confirmation per se of Moana being in the game, we do know that they're kind of calling more attention to the Keyblades that Sora receives in the world. There's like a whole scene where Sora receives his Coco Keyblade. That might be the case throughout the game. So if he has a lava and water Keyblade, then like what world would have like lava and water in it as its main theme? A lot of people are saying elemental. Elemental doesn't really point to lava as much, so I don't really believe that. Some people are saying Lilo and Stitch. We kind of did Lilo and Stitch already. We kind of need new worlds that we haven't seen before. So I think Moana is the only sensible choice. So like in my opinion, in my brain, Moana's kind of confirmed already. So like besides that,
would like to. I really hope your analysis is correct. I would really, like, logically speaking, it makes sense to me. So I really hope so too. Um, but just in case, because it can, you know,
top
be
four.
big enough to not be 100%. I would say Moana. Outside of Moana, ooh,
Oh, also the
which
Star Wars thing
world?
in the initial reveal trailer. This one is kind of even less confirmed or so, but there is a shot of some random foresty area. I never watched the original Star Wars trilogy, so I have no idea. But I was told that like the plant life that is shown in there are like plants from some specific planet in Star Wars. I think it's like the Wookiee planet or some shit. So
It's a moon, and it. They also show the metal foot of like one of the elephant-looking machines, gunner shooting thing.
yeah,
So yeah.
so going off of
Um,
that, I'm excluding Star Wars, Moana, and then Coco. We've seen Coco.
um, let's see. I I never really put too much thought into it. However, I went to Disney Sea not too long ago, and they had like a night kind of show, and it was like probably one of the most magical things I've ever seen in my life. And like the way they showed all the Disney movies and the water show and everything, I thought was very special. Most of those movies are already in one shape or another um, in the Kingdom Hearts series. So I would like for them to, if they are going to bring an old movie back, for them to remake that world from scratch and really delve into it with the exclusion of Monsters Inc. because Monsters Inc. I feel like it was kind of lazy. Um, the world felt very empty. Um, the world was beautiful and there's a lot they could do, but I really wish that they put a little bit more into it. Um, I don't know if I want Monsters Inc. back, honestly. Um, but if I could pick, I would probably pick um, uh, Despicable Me. I think Despicable Me is Pixar.
That is Illumination.
Is that different?
Yeah, it's different.
I can't. I don't even know.
Unfortunate.
That would be cool, right? Imagine him fighting alongside with minions, or the minions fighting off like Heartless.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really think of an answer when I came up with this, so I'm just looking up like Disney and Pixar worlds just to see what the fuck there is.
Oh, that's a good point. Let me try. Hmm. My only real one I was thinking was Moana, honestly, and then yeah, sure, Um,
Guess I'll drip feed some answers as we think about it. A Bug's Life would be dope. I think A Bug's Life is one of the more underrated Pixar movies. Uh, it needs some love, damn it. Love that movie. And like uh, I, I I would like more of a mix of worlds where Sora has to like transform into like I want to see more designs. Basically, like I want to see what they do with like a bug Sora or like a bug version of Donald and Goofy, assuming Donald and Goofy will return in your party. Um, I I want to
Family.
say Incredible so
Oh,
bad, but we're already in a
oh yeah,
gigantic fucking
incredible.
city, dude. Like I'm already sick and tired of looking at Quadratum. I don't want to go to another normalized city. Like I don't. If it is Incredibles, they
Breaks
have
my
to go
heart.
somewhere crazy. Like maybe the island, the Syndrome's Island or something. Like the whole story would have to take place there because I don't want to be in the fucking city, dude. We have enough of that shit. Some bullshit excuse to get Incredibles in there. Uh,
Ah, Zootopia.
Zootopia is a good one. I
Zootopia is a fantastic
That's
one.
a fantastic choice. Yeah, think about that one. Animal Sora. What animal do you think Sora would become if he dropped in?
They'd probably do something lazy and make him a fox.
Make him a lion again. Oh, that would actually be a sick choice. Make him go back to his proto design. Make him a lion. That would actually be sick.
Let's see. Oh, I'm just gonna go off this list real quick, and I'm just gonna be like, yeah, no, yeah, no. Snow White, Pinocchio. Kind of already had a lot of that fact. Don't be Cinderella, Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan. We got that. Lady and the Tramp, Sleeping Beauty, 101 Dalmatians. I'm not angry about.
Never again.
If we had to go old school, I wish like if they did that they would be a bit more detail. Sword in the Stone, Jungle Book, Aristocrats, Robin Hood, and Winnie the Pooh, Rescuers, Fox and the Hound, Black Cauldron, Great Mouse, Oliver and Company, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Lion King, Pocahontas, Hunchback, Notre Dame, Hercules, Mulan, Tarzan, Emperor's New Groove, Atlantis. No, because I don't want to fight over too many water worlds, and if we get Moana, then I would prefer that over any other one. Um, Lilo Stitch, Treasure Planet, Brother Bear, Princess and the Frog, Tangled, Wreck-It Ralph, Frozen, Big Hero 6, Zootopia, Moana, Raya the Last Dragon. Honestly, I feel terrible for. I think that's like the worst Disney movie I've seen in recent years. Like no one.
Which one
No
was that?
one thinks about that movie. Raya and the Last Dragon. That
I
movie is like the most forgotten about movie ever.
I need to see it. Just because you said that, I must
It's
know.
it's
How bad is it?
it's not that it's like graphically bad. It's just the story is so blah.
Is it as bad as
Um,
Wish?
Wish.
Never mind. If you don't know Wish, then that's a no.
Encanto is not terrible, but I feel like we already have too many worlds similar to that. Like
Coco,
Coco's is too similar
yeah.
to Encanto, so not that one. Strange World, Wish, I don't remember Wish. Um, Toy Story, Bugs Life, Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo. That's another water
Please
world.
no.
No,
Yeah, no.
The Incredibles. The Incredibles would be fun, I think. Cars, Ratatouille, Wally, Up, Brave. Nah, too similar to Tangled. Inside Out. I hope not. The Good Dinosaur, Coco's
I don't
Onward.
think being
Oh,
similar to Tangled
Onward.
is a problem because, like, that's stage three. Moving forward.
Onward. 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 Onward.
I think that's the one with the trolls or the orcs that go
Yeah,
on an
I
adventure.
remember, but I'm trying to think what world would it clash with?
I haven't watched a lot of modern Pixar. That's why.
Mm. Soul, Luca, Turning Red, Lightyear, Elemental, Inside Out, Elio, Pirates of the Caribbean, Tron, Nightmare Before Christmas, Mary Poppins, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Enchanted, The Chronicles of Narnia. That's okay. Muppets, Maleficent, Jungle Book, Cruella, and Haunted Mansion.
I think
Mm.
we're rolling into like
Based
some weird. You
based
know
off
what?
of this
I
list,
never thought of live action. Huh.
mm, based off of this list, I'm gonna go with The Incredibles, Zootopia.
Zootopia's a great pick.
Um, because even if they did do 101 Dalmatians, how would that work? It just there's no way to really make it interesting.
I want to see
Um,
another fucking Dalmatian for the rest of my life. uh,
uh,
I've also gotten word that apparently Wreck-It Ralph is going to be another world in KH4, but that's like rumorville slash
so,
like hints from mobile
so
game shit.
there's the hub is gonna be in Kingdom Hearts 4, from what I remember, which connects to a bunch of different games too. So I don't know if they're gonna introduce other world like game worlds. That would be interesting, right? Hmm. But let's see. Maybe. Uh, but I don't want another water world to compete with Moana, so I can't pick that. So I'm going to pick.
Never seen Soul, but I think like thematically it would fit.
Wait, I don't even remember the movie Soul or Luca. Oh, I'm gonna go with Incredibles, Zootopia, and who owns the movie El Dorado?
DreamWorks.
Works. Fuck those guys. Let's go with what's Enchanted again?
Enchanted, I think, is that reverse isekai movie where the Disney princess gets sent to the real world and has to I forget the plot, but she has to find her Prince Charming or some shit. But it's a live action movie that starts animated, but the princess gets sent to the real world. Thematic, like that's kind of the plot of Cage 4. That's not a bad pick, honestly. It's been a long time since I've seen Enchanted.
You know what? Those were just Disney, so let me check if this gives me more. 'Cause I don't want nothing Marvel. Fuck Marvel. We already have one. Wait, wait. They own Avatar?
Avatar, the Blue Rabbits, or the Last Airbender.
No, they
I
don't
don't
own
know
The
if either of
Last
those are true.
Airbender.
I don't know if that's true.
Well, it's 20th Century Studios.
That's too tertiary. Like I think because
I don't
I
know.
think
I
they
don't
will
know.
want something
I
that
don't.
would tie it back to Disney like directly because
But I mean, they own Star Wars. They
Kingdom Hearts is
own
also an
Guns.
ad. Like let's be real.
Yeah.
So I don't think they want to do something that's like so far removed from themselves that like I think the fact that they announced
Here's
Incredibles
here's
3 and D23 as well is also a good sign that like maybe Incredibles world. I remind people how good Incredibles was.
if Disney does own 20th Century Studios Fox,
Mm,
I would love to see Avatar.
uh,
I would love to see Avatar. That would be wild. Absolutely wild.
but what if that means that the lava water keyblade comes from Avatar and then you lose Moana?
Fuck. Because they do have the way of water and the way of fire. Fuck. Okay. I want to give up Moana.
Yeah, careful, man. Much plot.
literally literally the only game I care for, or the only world I care for, is Moana. Everything else can be like a replica of something else. Um, Home Alone? No, I'm just joking.
Is that Disney?
Uh,
We did just
Apparently
we
they
did
also
just
own.
lose Tim Curry. We need a homage.
They technically
You
do
owe it
own
to him.
Indiana Jones.
They do,
Indiana
but kind of
Jones.
like in the same way as that they own Star Wars, and it's like,
Indiana Jones, though. I mean, I feel like it could be fun, but
I don't think kids give a shit about Indiana Jones. Not gonna lie, Star Wars is way better, way easier to sell to
Star
children
Wars.
than Indiana Jones, old crotchety
But
man.
if we're going for iconic Avatar, everyone knows Avatar. That's one of the highest grossing movies of all time. And the Avengers, oh my god, please don't put Marvel. Please don't put
Please
Marvel. But
no.
if they're gonna put Star Wars, they're gonna put Marvel.
I don't want no more ordinary fucking cities, dude. But that's where it would have to be. It had to be New York or some shit. And it's like, who do
Also,
you
it's like
include? Who do
Guardians
you
of the
exclude?
Galaxy.
What villain do you use? Like, what the fuck? Like,
Guardians of the Galaxies. It could be like their version of the gummy ships.
mm, I mean, I hate how not bad of a choice that is. Fuck. I don't want it. I don't want it because it's too good of an idea. Fuck.
Yeah, that would be terrible. I
But like, if it
but
is Star Wars,
my
then that's like too much space. Like I,
I no, you know what? Can I say an old world to just be like
yeah,
redone
like
from the ground back up?
yeah,
Okay, okay,
go
fuck it
back.
then.
Well, you might have
Okay.
to.
Um um
It, it doesn't have to be new.
yeah, I'm thinking mm, mm, can we get the Beauty and the Beast world like
So, France, because we have Beast Castle, Cage 2, and Days.
oh yeah, you're right.
And yeah, another
I
thing is
just
that like I don't think because if the implication is that Sora is in basically another dimension, I don't want old worlds back. Like I think like the like all of the worlds in KH4 needs to be new, not like new movies, but like not in things that haven't been in Kingdom Hearts before yet.
we got an Lilo and Stitch world before.
Yes, Deep Space, no, but
World.
they didn't go to Hawaii. We've only had Deep Space, which is everywhere. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Um, you could probably get away with it, but I also don't because if you go to Hawaii, that clashes with Moana again. So it's like,
I, I can't win. I can't win. I'm gonna go Zootopia, Incredibles, and fuck, there's no good options.
what did I say? I forgot what I said. I said Bugs Life. Uh, Bugs Life, Incredibles. I think fuck, I just saw it. Inside Out.
is that the one with the emotions?
Yeah. Wait,
You know what?
wait.
I would probably pick Snow White.
Breath by Sleep. You beat the Seven Dwarfs. Oh,
No,
please
it
tell me.
can't be any of the seven princesses because the seven princesses have been basically.
Yeah. Oh my god, please tell me. Oh my god, please tell me. Who made?
Fuck is Turning Red? I don't remember Turning Red.
That one is very recent. Um, very slice of life. Like was it Korean? I think it's Korean.
The bear one?
Yeah, with the red panda. That's like a
We.
that movie's about like low key. It's about like periods and shit. Like I don't like
Love that movie, but I just don't see it fitting.
that's also like another basic bitch city that you'd be in again. Like no, stop.
But if they did use that movie, it would give us the opportunity for Sora to transform. So it necessarily wouldn't be like a Keyblade he uses, but he transforms into an animal or a beast of some kind when he fights. That would be an interesting kind of gimmick.
Wanted to say on Osmosis Jones, but that's Warner Brothers.
I really wish Big Hero 6 was done better, man. It's such a disappointment.
What could they've done? Like, the story is
I got
weird, but
nothing,
the
man.
world itself is fine, I think.
Listen, I'll give you two. I'll give you The Incredibles, and I'll give you Zootopia. The third one, I can't tell you. Turning red.
Those aren't bad
I
picks.
just don't want. I can't clash with. I can't clash with Moana. That's the only thing.
Princess and the Frog. Is there any? There's no Pocahontas representation anywhere.
Mm.
Holy shit!
I- But I feel like she would also fit like the role of like Disney princess,
But she hasn't
and
been
it
used.
also might become. It might also be a little bit political wise. Mm.
True. Yeah, actually. Nowadays, in this day and age.
Yeah, seriously. Alien. Disney owns Alien. Okay, yeah, that's as much as I can give you. I can give you those two and Turning Red. That's a technical three.
That's good enough. I think. I think that's. We talked about it quite a bit, so I think we're good.
Yeah,
Zootopia is a good pick, though.
yeah. I think Zootopia would be one of the more fun worlds to explore.
Well, that was my question. Hmm.
Okay, so then let's see. Hmm, that's actually a good one. Would you prefer for this Kingdom Hearts game to have fewer worlds, but the worlds are more expansive, or more worlds, but the worlds are smaller?
Hmm. I know the average person would complain about like having fewer worlds. I don't know if I would. I think that's something that like I think either or is fine because of the other. Like, if we have fewer worlds, but the worlds are massive, then I'm cool with that. If we have smaller worlds, but a bunch of them, then that'd be cool because that's a bunch of fucking worlds. Um, but that's like a slider that either way. It's like, eh. But what would I prefer? Like, if it was a slider, I would have it like directly in the middle because I am a little afraid that Quadratum is going to be stupidly massive. Like, if you look at that shot from the trailer of Sora and Strelitzia looking out into the distance, it's like, you better not try to pull that, like, Breath of the Wild shit of, like, haha, you see that building off in the distance that's, like, clearly, like, 100 miles away? You can go there. I don't care. I don't care that much, dog. Like, nah. Please. Like, I don't want Kingdom Hearts to go open world. Hell no. I can't do open world games like that. Um, I think Kingdom Hearts 3's scope, their scale of worlds is, uh, I would argue, overkill. But like, if even if they keep it to that, even if they go a little bit smaller than that, I'm cool. Um, but as long as it's expansive, and it really depends on Sora's mobility. Like, if the worlds are small and you have like a slightly more nerfed version of flow motion available in the game, cool. If you're hella mobile, then the worlds have to be bigger. Like, of course. Uh, that's a tough one because like it's a balancing act between like, okay, well, how big are the worlds? How fast and how mobile are you? And how much can they stuff into this game? Which that's a square problem. if I could have my way, I would have like a bunch of relatively big but a lot of different worlds. But if one of those have to be cut, I will take fewer, bigger worlds with more mobility.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning the same way. I would want to have bigger worlds because my only concern is, for example, Kingdom Hearts 3. One of my favorite worlds and characters is Big Hero 6. I really like Baymax. And I really wish his world was more developed, more full. Um, and now that we've already experienced it a little bit in Kingdom Hearts 3, it doesn't feel worthwhile to experience again in Kingdom Hearts 4. But if we did the latter, which would be more smaller worlds, I feel like that would be the same feeling for all those worlds where we would be like, I'm glad I got to go there, but it didn't really feel like much. So then you're not looking forward to it in the next one. And if you do that, then you're like stripping a crap ton of games or worlds right out of that like list. So like Kingdom Hearts 4, you're not gonna have or five, you're not gonna have a good list of games at all or worlds at all because you know you tried them all. You used as much as you could in this one game, and I feel like that defeats the magic of going into these worlds. So I would feel like it would be better if we just got a select amount of small worlds that were really well developed, so that even if by any chance they were to be introduced later again, you could be like, I really liked that world, how it was built, how massive it was. I feel like I could really discover more. And if I could have that experience, then that's great. Plus, you leave room for other options to be available as well. Whereas, and if you do what they did with Big Hero 6, I don't want to go back to Big Hero 6 unless they fully revamped it or just added more life to it. And other worlds that kind of had the same kind of issue that were developed in that way too. So, um, but the other thing is in the definition of massive worlds, I think there's a misconception in size and in life in a game. Because, for example, what's that world? Tangled, gorgeous world, humongous world, and Frozen. They basically felt like the exact same world, just with a different texture on it. Like just this giant map. One is snowy, one is grass. Each has their own monsters. Same linear concept. And where, and I'm gonna just hop off real quick, but Pokemon Legends ZA, the entire game is one circle. And there's so much life and stuff to do in that one circle that you don't need a gigantic, expansive game. You just need there to be context within that world to make it feel alive and worthwhile. Now, if they can make it big, sure, that's great. But what I want is that world to feel mechanically alive, where I can do more than just walk up and down, you know? Um, and now Kingdom Hearts isn't really known for that. I think for the most part, it's always been the the one where it's just like that linear road. You just here to here, cutscene, fight, here to here, cutscene, fight. But if they could add a bit more of that mechanical kind of feel, I feel like that would be something to make the world feel more alive for me. And it doesn't have to be anything complicated, but just you don't have to make the map bigger to make it more alive, I think. So I would, if anything, I would prefer that for them to just add more to that world. Because if they did that for Big Hero 6, it could have been one of my favorite worlds in the game, but it just felt very empty. Like the best thing I did in there was fly from building to building, you know? So that's my perspective on that.
Yeah, I know people love to shit on Kingdom Hearts 3. It's just all random Disney shit that the plot doesn't happen until you get to the Keyblade Graveyard, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, Kingdom Hearts 3 has the best, like, world traversal. Like, the exploring the world is the best part of the game, and it does it the best out of all the games. So it's like, that's something. Like, that's a big deal, actually. The worlds are massive. You're fairly mobile in those games with full motion. Um, and for the most part, I don't remember loading screens. Like, I don't remember ever having to transition from, like, a load screen. It's very, very seamless. Um, I think Kingdom Hearts three's scope of worlds and the amount of worlds, I think it's a little bit less than the usual, but I think they hit a perfect balance of like the amount of worlds that are in it, the scope of them, the seamlessness, the amount of exploration that you're encouraged to do in those worlds. Um, I'm trying to think of because like you mentioned Arendelle and Tangled being very similar. Arendelle's issue is that you're kind of scaling the same fucking mountain over and over, but you're doing it in different ways. Like it is kind of shitty because you don't really get to see like the town or any other fucking. I didn't see Frozen, so I don't know what kind of places that are in it. But it's like you're on a mountain the whole time, and like yeah, this kind of sucks. At least in Tangled, you're exploring the movie, like the whole ass movie. And I don't know. I don't think the comparison between them is really fair. Like Tangled is linear, sure, but it's like you are kind of going through the plot of Tangled, whereas in Arendelle, you're kind of just being scaling up the same mountain and getting knocked down, and then scaling up again in a different way. And it's like, yeah. I think it's all in how they handle it. Like, I don't think it's enough to just say like, oh, I want the world to be big and dense and yada yada yada. It's like there are approaches because like you wouldn't say San Francisco is the same as either of those worlds because it's a big fucking city. Like Quadrantum is kind of already that, where it's just big city, explore whatever the fuck you want. It's all seamless, whatever. I don't want all the worlds to be like that. Uh, I also haven't seen Coco, so I don't know what I don't have an idea of what that's going to be like. But I think something like what they did with Skullhead Kylam and Remind, where you are sort of like not completely seamless, but it's big enough so that like it feels like you're exploring a gigantic fucking city. Um, but you're also like yeah, you mentioned ZA, it's all in one circle, but you're not super rollable in that game either. Like platforming is iffy. This is a Kingdom Hearts game, so it's like that's not going to be a problem. Um, it's tough. I think if they just nail what they did with the Kingdom Hearts 3 worlds again, I'd be satisfied with that. Even if it's a little bit smaller and we just get more mobility options, I'd be cool with that too. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's a lot to think about.
So I feel like I might have mentioned this to you before, but to me, Kingdom Hearts 3 was debatably my favorite Kingdom Hearts game, um, which kind of petered back and forth between Kingdom Hearts 3 and Kingdom Hearts 2. Um, Eventually, I ended up leaning towards Kingdom Hearts 2 just because of the overall scope, but there was a lot that Kingdom Hearts 3 did offer that I really liked. There were just certain things that made that decision for me final to lean towards Kingdom Hearts 2. And one of those things was how I felt that the story was paced, where lore, Disney, empty concepts, lore. And I didn't really care for that so much. And then the other thing is how empty the worlds fell. Um, and those two things are, to me, were the deciding factors on why I felt that Kingdom Hearts 2 just overall was better. because like even their worlds felt more alive to me. But
If I may interrupt
like
for a
for
bit, that's
example,
another thing I want to mention. Like the world's feeling empty. That's kind of just a Kingdom Hearts problem. That's like a problem that every Kingdom Hearts game
but
kind of
Kingdom
has
Hearts
to
2
present.
didn't have that. Like for example, when you play Kingdom Hearts 2, you are playing as Roxas, but immediately you are engrossed with your friends that you're doing you're doing an entire thing with, and then the organization is playing such a huge role around you, and like you don't like even the worlds you visit don't feel so alone. Where I felt like as an Arendelle or like the people that like for example the Frozen world, like I think Elsa is. Does anyone else besides Elsa team up with you? I can't remember.
The big snowman dude.
No, man, dude. But that's an Elsa summoning, isn't it?
You fight him initially, and then he joins your party.
Mm, can't remember. It's been a while. But
Yeah.
besides that, everything is just landscape. And so there's just nothing really around to make the world feel alive besides landscape. And I feel like that was part of the problem for me, just a lot of landscaping and not a lot of life. Um, but those two things were like the only things for me that I found a complaint about. And but it was enough for me to kind of feel alone. And I don't like to feel alone when I play a game. Um, I think just looking at the trailer that Kingdom Hearts 4 has solved that. If you look at the fight scenes, there's always like literally an audience in the background in almost every fight scene they've shown so far in the trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4. And there's people literally everywhere, which makes the world feel alive for me, which is one of my top two concerns in Kingdom Hearts 3 is that it doesn't look like it's going to be, and this is just a few that they've shown us, but just off of that alone, it doesn't feel like an empty world. There's people walking up and down the street. There's people watching what's happening. You don't feel alone. And then there's a big cast of players or of characters that are involved in your everyday life, like Starlixia, and then they're just involved in whatever you're doing. It's not just you. So I feel like that solves that problem for me. I'll have to play the game to see.
Mhm.
And then the number two is um, the story pacing. I feel like this is a guess, but based on from what I've seen, I really do feel that Quadratum it's going to be a base planet. It's not going to be a world you visit. It's going to be the world you are in the whole time. And then from here, you can go to other places, but then come back, other places, and then come back like that. And this is like your base world. So everything you do encompasses this area. And I think that's so important because no matter like whatever planet you go to, you're coming back to lore. You're coming back to like the base of what makes the game feel like Kingdom Hearts and not just Disney, which I feel like it's better than just a cutscene. Because I feel like in Kingdom Hearts 3, it was like Disney World cutscene of something else, Disney World cutscene. And but this if this is like the hub system, it'll feel like you're coming back to actual a player experience of Disney lore outside of just the Disney planets or Kingdom Hearts lore outside of just the Disney planets. And I feel like that balances the story being given much better. Um, and I think that that would solve that problem. So if they nail those two things the way that it looks like they're doing it, there's a very, very, very good chance Kingdom Hearts 4 will be my favorite game. Period.
Um, that's possible. Um, like if you think highly of Kingdom Hearts 3 like that, then that makes sense to me. Uh, the thing I wanted to address though, because like the whole like world feeling empty thing, um, that's kind of just always been an issue with Kingdom Hearts in general. Yeah, in the beginning, characters too, you have like all these NPCs, and you have like the characters like Hainer, Prince, and Ola, and yada yada. But once you leave that, man, because like Twilight Town, like it's a town, you kind of need people there. Even with like the NPCs, like the amount of people compared to how big that place is, like as a whole, Twilight Town feels like there should be a ton more people than there ever were, and they fixed that in 3, where they have like a bunch of like NPCs roaming around, and you have less space to work with. Like in KH3, you go back to Spotted Town, and they have like that feels lived in, but you don't even really get to explore that much of Spotted Town in KH3. So I think like doing that made it feel more alive than it did in KH2. Also in KH3, the first place you go to is Thebes. Thebes is full of people. Like, there are people everywhere when you go there. You gotta save, like, people from burning buildings because the, like, heartless attacks and whatnot. It's the very first thing that happens in the game.
Where do you go?
In Olympus. You land in Thebes, the town,
yes.
the bottom
Yeah,
of Olympus.
yeah.
And there are people. Like, it's very lived in. It's very populated and stuff. But then you leave that area and you start climbing up the mountain. There's no one there. But it makes sense that there's no one there because you're climbing the mountain. So it's like, yeah, it's whatever. But like prior Kingdom Hearts game has always had this problem where it's like whenever you go to Olympus Coliseum, they would do shit like, ha ha ha, look, it's Hercules, the crowd is erupting, and it's like empty benches, but they will play the sound of crowds cheering and shit. It's like, what are we doing? Like, why would you call attention to the people that aren't there? It's insane. Empty worlds is just it's a Kingdom Hearts problem. Maybe it's just because like they made the worlds bigger, so they can't really do it. But like it's not that much of a problem in 3. I don't think. Like in Toy Box, there's a good reason. There are barely any people in Toy Story in general. It's all toys.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Monsters Inc. Literally no people except for Boo. You don't get to see other monsters that much, which sucks. But it's like at that point, it's like, well, this is just what I'm used to in Kingdom Hearts, where it's like there's not much in the way of characters to interact with besides the ones that join your party or the villains, yada yada. Pirates of the Caribbean, once you land on Point Royal, there's people everywhere. Like KH3 in total feels way more lived in than the prior games, like any of the prior. I think it's one thing that KH3 does way better than the KH2 even. Or the world's feeling empty as fuck has always been like a problem, and I don't think that will be a problem in KH4. Like we've kind of already seen that, like even the Cocoa world is going to be very populated. But as you go through your adventure, of course you're not going to fucking see people around, so because you're adventuring. It's like KH1.
I think the reason that that feeling becomes apparent is because it's a much bigger world.
Yeah.
So like in Kingdom Hearts, the prior Kingdom Hearts games, they're not so big. So the areas that are populated are there, but then you leave not too far, but then it's like the game isn't big enough to kind of give you that sense of like a long journey. Whereas in like Kingdom Hearts 3, the map is so big that once you leave that, it's like a whole nother map now. You're just going and going, and then just it feels a lot more empty, but in the sense that there's just more to explore. But then a lot of the story happens there as well, which takes away from that immersion of where the people are. So I feel like that's probably part of the reason why I feel that way is because the game is bigger, which is a good thing, but also I like the concept of like things happening in town more than out in like the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. I think they've been doing a better job with that from like Kingdom Hearts 3 going into Kingdom Hearts 4. They've already shown that they're aware and they're trying to fix it.
I think that's why they showed it specifically in the trailers. I think they do want to know that like that is a concern people had, and I think that they made sure to people could see that that's something that they addressed, which is a huge for me. That's a huge like okay.
Yeah, the world's feeling empty has been like a long running complaint throughout the entire franchise since the beginning. Like not even Kingdom Hearts 2 really solved that problem. So it's like as perfect as that game is, as much as we love it, it's like that is an issue. Agrabah, there's no one. Like there's nobody in fucking Agrabah. There's nobody in Port Royal. There's nobody in it's bad. Like Pride Lands, Christ. They chose the one thing I hate about Pride Lands is that they chose after when Scar took over, so it's just a fucking wasteland. It's like this place is ugly and boring. How dare they do this to Lion King of all things? Ah,
You're gonna like do this thing now where you play Kingdom Hearts 2 and you're gonna be like, where's everybody?
where's everybody? Like you already do that. Like just play through. It's like why is everything so it's so fucking empty? Damn. But that continues throughout the rest of the
Yeah.
series. Like you go through Birth by Sleep, and there's nobody in fucking. There's supposed to be a ball, and there's no one. Like, what do you mean? Uh,
So we got time for one more question. I'll let you ask it.
one more question. I got a weird one. I have titled this. One of us is going to have to change. I don't know about you, but I'm of the opinion that going forward, if the side characters are going to continue making a presence in this franchise, either Ventus or Roxas is going to need a haircut. I do not want Ventus and Roxas floating around looking the fucking same, especially if they're not going to acknowledge it. They already like did this thing in KH3 where they meet each other and they barely talk at all, and they share like a line and a half in Remind. It's like, all right, well, if we're going to do this, somebody needs to change. And I think it's weird that Ventus in Unchained Key, Union Cross, whatever, he had like a very different haircut when he was introduced, but then he grew into his Roxas look later on. And it's like, well, Roxas technically is the original, but not really because his look is based on Ventus. So like, who gets to keep the do?
The question is, who gets to keep the haircut?
Who gets to keep the do? Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Ventus.
Me too. Um, Ventus needs a haircut or something. Honestly, I think Ventus needs to be fucking erased from the franchise. But that's a
But
different
honestly,
story.
I don't know. I honestly don't know mm, how or why they would introduce those characters again, like Roxas and Naminé, because all of that lore was wrapped up and resolved in the Dark Master saga.
Mhm.
So I don't really see the reason why they would have to show up again.
I think they
They
would have
they
to at
they
least
even like,
make an appearance. I don't
but
think
they
they'll play
like
a
made their
role.
cameo. So I mean, my only guess is like Thor is just like self-reflecting in a mirror, and he's just like, "What should I do, Roxas?" And Roxas is just like, "Figure it the fuck out." Like that's the only thing. The only
That's
thing I
basically
can
the
think
place
about.
or judo distance in a nutshell.
Yeah, I don't really, which sucks because those are beloved characters, obviously. So,
Yeah.
um, but I just don't know how, like, rationally they could bring those characters back to play a major role in a sense per se. Like,
Because
they would
like
have to play even less than Kingdom Hearts 3.
I think it'd be weird if Riku was the only one making an effort to get Zora back. Maybe he could be the only one to like succeed and get the closest. Like he makes it to Quadratum, obviously, so it's like cool. But
Yeah.
it's like I think it'd be weird if at least like they would have to at least appear. Like they don't have to do anything; they have to show up at least. But, like we didn't forget, you know, like one cutscene of them on Destiny Island just fucked around. It's like I hope Riku's okay, and then that'd be good. But it's like I also think that with KH4, I think they're trying to build up to trying to make another like small army of Keyblade wielders with the dandelions and stuff. And it's like, oh, if all this shit is going on here in Quadratum, and the stuff going on here in Quadratum is going to affect both of our dimensions and whatnot, we need to bring the whole gang. Like we're going to need everybody on deck. There might be another Keyblade war coming. And
I'm gonna leave off with a final thought in this series. I'll say mine and then you can share yours.
mhm.
I believe, if I'm correct, they are going to frame Kingdom Hearts 4, 5, and 6 as a mirror of Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3 in the sense of how the story pace goes, the progression, obviously more advanced, more stuff, better graphics, better everything, and the story itself is better polished. But basically, it'll be Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3 again in their own respective ways, which tells me that the greatest Kingdom Hearts game of all times is going to be Kingdom Hearts 5. Because if Kingdom Hearts 5 is supposed to be the advanced mirrored version of Kingdom Hearts 2, oh, that means they're going to have the lore fixed, they're going to have the graphics fixed, they're going to have the gameplay fixed, they're going to have just the whole. Man, Kingdom Hearts 5 is going to be the fucking bomb.com, man. I can't wait for 5. 4, I love 4, but 5? 5? Even 3, even 6 can't match 5.
It's gonna be Pokemon all over again. That's 2 generations. It's gonna be 2 and 5. Fuck.
That's my personal take. I really do think that the way they're building it is going to be like that.
I can't fathom that. I
Can
just
you
can't.
imagine if 5 starts with Roxas again?
Mm. If that were to happen, it would be great. It'd be fantastic. I don't think it will. I think, like, so the one thing that KH2 is going to have over, like, the rest of the games beyond it, like, probably forever, because this is just the nature of it being where it is in the timeline of Kingdom Hearts games. KH2 doesn't have the burden of answering questions that have been built up for over a decade and a half. That was a problem with Kingdom Hearts 3 already. Kingdom Hearts 3 was always going to be a disappointment no matter what because we have to wait so long for it. And there are so many games and side games and games that you can't even access anymore it's supposed to answer a bunch of questions and close a lot of doors that those games introduced. While introducing new shit, Kingdom Hearts 2 was meant to be a conclusion. And with it being like a very tight knit like package with a bow on it, that is probably gonna have that. That's gonna what let Kingdom Hearts 2 have that over the rest of the games always because it's it doesn't have the weight of the rest of the franchise on its shoulders. It did its job. It did its job well. It did its job perfectly, and now it's like one of the greatest games ever made. I don't think the Kingdom Hearts games going forward, unless they like handle it really, 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 really well, is going to ever make that because every single game is just going to build up to new shit. It's going to have to answer more questions and then make more questions as it answers the old ones. And there's always just going to be that frustration of like, oh my god, we got to wait another 7 to 10, 13 years for the next game. And we're going to get a bunch of side games. It's going to add more questions, add more mysteries. And the mysteries aren't even necessarily fun. It's always just like, all right, so another character who looks like this other character who looks like this other character has shown up. Which one is it this time? Somebody asked a question, and the character isn't going to answer it straight up. They're just going to fucking answer in riddles, and we, the audience, aren't allowed to know. Like, there's something that always bugs me about Kingdom Hearts is that, and you can clock this from the beginning. Whenever any character asks a question, one of three things happen. Either the character that's being asked the question will completely ignore them and just say some other bullshit, give them some bullshit answer that doesn't mean anything to anybody, or they'll say it straight up, but we, the audience, can't hear it. So it's like, what the fuck even is the point? They do this shit all the time. And it's like, it's more aggravating than it is intriguing. And that's kind of just the problem that Kingdom Hearts 4, this whole last Masters arc, that's just I think that is bringing down the whole arc already. And they have to resolve that in Kingdom Hearts 4 if they want Kingdom Hearts 5 to be anywhere close to comparable to Kingdom Hearts 2.
So if that's the case, then I would say that Kingdom Hearts 3 did close a lot of loops on anything that had to do with the Dark Master Saga, and all the questions that are still out there
With the Xehanort
are
Saga.
pertaining specifically with the Xehanort Saga, are pertaining to the Master of Masters saga. So those are the questions we still don't know. And on the bright side, we haven't had a plethora of side games to convolute the story even further. And even the ones that were going to do, they canceled. So unless the anime becomes canon, I don't really see how. And I think he said it was, but like it'll be other characters that don't have anything to do. But the canon anime could, in a sense, help answer some of those questions without having to put that context into the actual Kingdom Hearts games. And therefore, Kingdom Hearts 4 could try to wrap up a lot of those questions to lead into 5. And because Kingdom Hearts 2 was meant to be the end, 5 won't do that. We know there's going to be 3, right? I believe they said it was going to be a 3-game series again. So it should end at 6.
I don't know if
And
they
if
ever
that's the
confirmed
case,
the amount of games. It's just a new arc. It could be
but
like
if it
up to
is
7 to 13 games for all we know. So it's like,
calm down, calm down. That's not. I don't live that long, but but the point is, if they are going to do a 3-part series again, then 5 won't play that. It'll be more like a reloaded kind of game, and then you know 6 will be the actual supposed to be Kingdom Hearts 2 kind of thing, which technically it's 3 because there were so many questions in between 2 and 3. So yeah, so 6 is the mirror of 3. So, but that's the case, then Kingdom Hearts 6 could be the best game. That's a lot of lore to
game,
cover.
then maybe the like 2 so good.
I felt like I think 2 has the edge because of the nostalgia and originality that you can't create that originality anymore. It's already been done by that. So
Another thing that's
um
kind of missing out of like post 2 Kingdom Hearts, and I guess we don't really have time to go deep into it, but I wanted to mention that like I'm in a Discord group with a bunch of other friends, and I got the whole Discord to start playing Kingdom Hearts from 1, and okay, I can't take credit for that. But, like I helped basically build a whole small like Kingdom Hearts community from the beginning. People started playing it from the first game, and I mentioned this, and a lot of them agree with me. One thing that's really missing out of like post 2 Kingdom Hearts is that opening section of like Destiny Island or Twilight Town in the beginning of the game where you're just a kid. Like you're just a kid, and you're just playing with your friends, and you get like a good chunk of normalcy where you're just getting to know the characters and like falling in love with them and like, getting really invested in who they are as people before ripping us away into Kingdom Hearts shit. The game's past, well, Birth by Sleep kind of does that, but it's very short. It's incredibly short, and you're sort of distracted by the fact that the 3 main playable characters are indeed playable. So it's like you get the opening cutscene, the Mark Master exam happens, and then now you're off into the world with all 3 of them. That's kind of just it, and that happens within a span of like 20 minutes maybe. Like Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 really make you sit down and absorb the world that you're in and the people that you're around and the characters and stuff, and it makes you give a shit. It makes you care so much about these characters before you go off to your bullshit Kingdom Hearts journey. And then when the Kingdom Hearts story comes back and it becomes the forefront, That's when they can do all the reveals and all the twists and stuff, and it hits you so fucking hard every single time. They just don't do that in the modern games anymore. Kingdom Hearts 3 doesn't really do that.
Well,
Like
I
you,
think that the issue with Kingdom Hearts 3 is that all of that was done before Kingdom Hearts 3. Like there was like
right?
Kingdom Hearts 2, 2, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, 2.6, like so many different details of the story that was added to build up so that when Kingdom Hearts 3 dropped, it could just take off running. So it's like this big build up that they've been doing. Um, but I agree, it all of it was like we're not kids anymore. We got shit to handle, and there was other people's perspective, all the other characters' roles coming into one. So you really couldn't get that, and I don't think you're ever gonna get that again in a Kingdom Hearts series unless they use someone else as a main character, because just there's too much that they've all gone through for that to really be a plausible. Unless like Sora just wakes up and he's like, oh, this is a nice town, and he just kind of does that type of thing.
What
But in the sense of,
I have a suggestion. What would have been probably cool considering how important it is. Like it's literally called the end of the Xehanort saga. If you spent the first like maybe 2 hours or so in Scala at Kylum as Xehanort doing shit, maybe even just have Dark Road stuff. Maybe they didn't come up with the Dark Road stuff by the time of Kingdom Hearts 3, but it's like imagine if they did. If you like got to play a little bit of Dark Road at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 3, you play as Xehanort, you meet his friends, you meet his like colleagues and whatnot, and you go around and you just do shit and Scala time and hang out, and then you start Kingdom Hearts 2.9 from there, and then you get running. You need like starting off running was the problem.
yeah,
We need that slow crawl to like really absorb and get. I don't care about anything that's going on in Cage 4. I don't give a shit. I'm like, that's kind of like my main thing of why I'm not as excited as most people. Is just like I haven't had time to give a fuck. Like maybe if I played Dark Road, I don't even know how you. I don't even know how you can access it. I didn't get to play Unchained Key just because I just didn't have a device that could run it. So it's like for all these characters, I didn't get to experience any of that shit. So I just don't care.
that would
Like I'm
make
sure the
sense.
people who have played
But
those
that's
games do, but it's like that's only a set amount of people. We need like that slow burn in the beginning so you get people invested. I don't
that's
want
also
Kingdom Hearts
Kingdom
4 to
Hearts
start
problem.
with just like, haha, you're in Guadron, go smack some Heartless. Like I don't care yet. Why? Why am I doing
I,
this?
I think that's another problem for the Kingdom Hearts universe in the whole, is that there's just too much um too much consoles and variations of how the game is introduced in the different parts of the lore. So it can take you away if you don't have the money or the ability to experience those details. So and Kingdom Hearts 2 being so early, it didn't really need any of that. It was just like one chain, two, and then that's it. So that's a benefit of that. Um, but now they have it so that you can play it on every console, every version, and so you won't really have that issue anymore, except for like Chain of Memories and stuff. But then you can just watch it on YouTube, not Chain of Memories, Union Cross and stuff. You can just watch it on YouTube now, so
Yeah.
you can still get a bit of a recap. But like you said, you don't really get to feel the connection because you didn't play it yourself. So it's hard to develop those, connection to the characters. But
And this whole like external media being required to enjoy the franchise is not good. Like
yeah, that's another one of Kingdom Hearts issues.
like Kingdom Hearts 2, you could just jump in. Like if you played the first game, you could just jump in. It's so accessible. The rest of the games
Yeah,
are just not. Even if you have them, like even if you have access to them, it's like, well, you play Kingdom Hearts 1, then go straight to Kingdom Hearts 2. But in order to play Birth by Sleep, you kind of have to like play the other games. If you want to play Days, you gotta at least play Kingdom Hearts 2. If you want to play Dream Drop Distance, you have to play basically all of them up until then. And it's like, it's a burden.
each of those games. Yeah, but each of those games also have their own quirks that people love. Some people's favorite game is Birth by Sleep, and simply because it just has more of a Disney or Final Fantasy appeal than Disney appeal. And so, like, everyone's kind of taste,
Yeah,
their favorite game's unique.
but I would never
But
tell somebody
for
to
the,
play Book by Sleep first. That's just insane. Like, nah.
I really like Birth by Sleep, but I didn't like that I had to play the story 3 times.
Yeah, also that. Like, even with
That was
Book by
the only
Sleep,
thing.
the barrier of entry to enjoying the story is too fucking high. And it only gets
Yeah,
higher the further you go on to the series because it's all interconnected. Two doesn't have that problem.
yeah. But at the same time, I think I love the universe of Kingdom Hearts, so that any time that I can learn more about it, it excites me. So it isn't necessarily of trying to answer questions I have, but it's about learning more that this universe has to offer. Like when you have a favorite YouTuber who you've watched all of his videos, and now you're just waiting for him to make the next one, and you're like, hurry the fuck up. Like you don't know what it is. It doesn't
Shout outs
really
to
matter. It might
Critical.
not connect to anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might not connect to anything, but you just want the next video. So, like, it's kind of, for me at least, it's kind of the same concept where I have enough context to know what 4 it's going to be about. But even if I didn't, I don't care. It's more Kingdom Hearts, and it's that world that I want to see more of, and I want it now. So, I'm looking at it through those lenses. So, that's one of the reasons I'm excited for it.
Like, of course I'm gonna play it when it comes out.
Of course.
I'm in too deep. I'm too invested. But like, well,
Yeah.
not too invested. But like, my peak investment was not even Kingdom Hearts 3 itself, but just experiencing the conclusion of that saga and then wrapping up all the Xehanort related shit. Because like Kingdom Hearts 3, it is supposed to wrap all that up too. It is also supposed to be its own conclusion, but it's also supposed to be a bridge into the next saga. And it's like, well, I don't give a shit about the next saga. So it's like, I'm sorry, but that kind of just brings it down for me. Like I haven't been given the opportunity to give a shit about the next saga.
That is literally the main problem for me too. It's that the way that it ended. No, not ended. The way at the speed that they introduced the next saga. That's what kind of like put a damper on it for me. Like I didn't get to enjoy the end of this saga
Yeah,
before I already had to start thinking of the next saga. So I feel like that was, if anything, the biggest damper for me on that.
and I think whatever this anime is has to be that. It has to be the thing. It has to be that slow crawl that Kingdom Hearts 4 is inevitably not going to have. I know it's not going to do it, but like the anime needs to do that, and it looks like it's going to be about Dark Road shit, which is very important, very significant to the story. There's a lot of characters that have already shown up in the Cage 4 trailers that are part of the Dark Road story that we kind of need to know who the fuck they are so we can care about them. So whatever happens, like actually get behind it. But right now, I just don't.
I just hope I just hope that the anime is basically a telling of the story of all of those mobile games through a character whom we haven't learned about yet, and their perspective through their whole journey of it with the context that we currently have of that through lore and whatever. And with that, they answer as much plot holes as they can possibly answer and build the momentum and hype for how everything is supposed to go into the next series. And I don't know, maybe that character or one or two can make a special appearance in the actual game. We'll see. But
make it
um
JoJo's. Just
yeah,
make it about the
if they can just
protagonists.
I just I just want the anime to be a context library. Just answer all of the questions, fill in all of the blanks, fix all of the plot holes. Just you are there to make the game make sense. That's literally what I want that to be. And then after that, then you can make it about something more interesting. But right now, this shit is confusing and no one got the time for that.
Honestly, I think the thing that Kingdom Hearts needs, it needs to make less sense. They need to stop explaining shit. Because like the take that I see all the time is that like, oh, the series is so convoluted, nothing makes sense, and all these Final Fantasy characters, Disney characters, and people are like just other people, and everybody looks the same, and blah blah blah. And it's like, yeah, like that's not important. None of that shit is important. Just be there and enjoy it. And you can't because they try to add all these fucking mysteries and all this fucking just stop. Just have fun. Stop making sense. Stop explaining shit. Just let things happen. You know?
I don't mind if they add or if they explain it. I just need them to stop adding shit.
Yeah, also
Like
that.
the this is enough. But when you try to answer this, you put this in here. And then when you try to answer this, you put this in here. I don't have the bandwidth to fucking keep up with that. Just stop there. And if you can't answer it, fuck it. But just stop there. Because that is way too, like, pretty soon we're going to have the 2,000 year war that happened 2,000 years ago and the fucking lore behind that shit to answer the shit that happened in the 1,000 year war. I don't got time for that. Like, that's too much.
He
Like,
did that too.
just,
It's like, oh, the Keyblade Wars. 1,000 years ago. It turns out there were two Keyblade Wars before the Keyblade Wars. Like, what the fuck? What are we doing? uh,
like, if the story originally is this big concept, but at least it's like wrapped around each other and it all, that makes sense. Sure. It's a complicated world. Sure. But it's like, it feels like it's a ball that has loose ends. And the only way to cover it is by putting another ball on top that also has loose ends. And so you need to put another ball, but that also has loose ends, and you just keep. It's just it doesn't make any sense. And not in the sense that it doesn't make any sense, but the idea behind how they answer that and complete this world doesn't make any sense. Just keep a concept, leave it there, but don't add to it.
yeah.
I thought that adding like the nobodies was as good as it needed to get. It didn't need to have more than that. And then we just started to get more shit and more shit and more shit. And it's just like, cool.
Like, if it stays contained, it's fine. Like, they introduced Unversed, but Unversed are exclusive to, like, Vanitas, and they're not going to show up where Vanitas is not. So it's like, all right, you don't really have to worry about Unversed. They're just there. That's like as
Yeah.
good as
Or
it get
like
when
the
they add stuff, but it doesn't make things confusing.
yeah, or like with the dream stuff, that makes sense there. And I think Kingdom Hearts 4 will have their own version too, but that's because the realm is different. So that'll make sense in that sense too. But like if we are in the Colosseum and there's no integration between the two, but suddenly they're there with the zero explanation. Now we got to find the answers to how that could even possibly happen, which adds lore to that, and it's just too much,
I would
Like
say,
just
like,
keep it as is.
I would say, like, the Dream Eaters by themselves as a concept is fine. It's just they're attached to this other concept of dreams and sleeping worlds that isn't really conducive to anything. It's like, oh, ha, the worlds are asleep. Except you're going to worlds that you've already been to that weren't asleep when you were there initially, but they're asleep somehow. How? It's like,
Exactly. Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. Anyways, I think we covered a lot, but honestly, I still feel like we didn't cover enough. There's just
There is a lot more.
so much more. So I don't, yeah, I don't know if we're gonna have the chance to, but hopefully we can do a part two to this specific set and answer more specific questions about Kingdom Hearts 4 itself. I feel like this was more than just a generic overview, but I think we can be more specific about the development and the delivery of what this is. So we will continue this as a continuing series. We'll just have to do it at a different time, and hopefully get some more questions in there. Hopefully, I can talk a little louder.
Yeah, yeah. Time zones are a bitch.
Yeah,
But yeah, this was good. We will do part two
yeah. I haven't.
three technically.
Yeah, technically, yeah. I I haven't done a stream in a long time too, so I'm actually really happy I was able to do this. It's been a long time.
Same.
So hopefully we get to do this again, right? And should be fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please stay tuned for the next one. And yeah, we'll see you then.